Hey everyone and welcome to today's video where I'll be getting the platinum for one of the worst Walking Dead games and arguably one of the worst PlayStation 3 titles to ever grace the earth. If you enjoy platinum content then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video, it really does help me out, and I also live stream all of my platinum runs over on the live stream section on YouTube, so turn on notifications and never miss a live stream.
Hot diggity dog!
So this title is none other than The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. Shout out to my boy Norman Reedus, we do go way back. I actually started this platinum journey 11 years ago as a young man and a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and I still am, to be fair. The reason why this video is coming out is because we've got season 2 of the Daryl Dixon show, which has been absolutely awesome so far, so hopefully this content ties you over while you're waiting in between episodes. At the time I didn't really have any complaints about this game, to be honest. I was just a young kid playing a zombie game from my favourite franchise with my favourite character, but as time went on I kind of changed my opinion of this as I've obviously played more games.
Ever heard of this Walking Dead game? You don't want to hear about it. This is probably the worst game I've ever played.
The only thing that got me back in the day was I actually thought this game was kind of scary, because at some points when you sort of go through convenience stores you do get sort of scripted jump scares in a way of zombies just jumping out at you.
Oh my Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Jesus!
Which as a little kid was kind of scary. I say little, I wasn't that little.
Oh, jump scare. Really got me.
But on this revisit on the game, I can actually understand why this game was panned pretty harshly by the critics. Not as bad as The Walking Dead Destinies, however. This game was primarily developed by Activision, which is strange as they now only focus on Call of Duty titles and avoiding lawsuits. I do have to say, this game overall is pretty sucky, especially if you're going for the Platinum Trophy, which I might add is a 1.2% ultra rare, but there are some redeeming features that I really do like.
Do you know what? It's not a bad game for when it came out, right? Let's appreciate for when it came out, sign of the times, like it looks okay, it is what it is, like it's not a bad game on that front. That trophy of like, it's a bit of a clunky thing, it's a bit of banter, but it's not bad, you know?
Of course, the game retains the original voice cast, which is awesome, but it also makes sense as the game is about Daryl, so they kind of had to.
With all them abominations.
There's a really cool stamina mechanic as well when you're running, which puts sweat on your screen so you can't see, which I think is a really cool idea. I just don't know if it was executed in the best way, but I thought it was really unique. The game does play fairly well, if I'm being honest. It's not so bad. Obviously there's a little bit of jank here and there being a PlayStation 3 title, but it did play pretty good. The gunplay was good, and the only main issue is just the repetitive nature of the game, and of course sharing assets among zombies, so I would see the same zombie about 100 times next to each other. Of course it's a sign of the times, and that can't, you know, it's not really the fault of the PlayStation 3 because they were doing the best they could back then. I do feel that this game was a bit ahead of its time, and if I'm being honest is actually miles better than The Walking Dead Destinies, as this game was fairly creative. It just didn't really work out for it, unfortunately, but I liked what they tried to do. Anyways, enough of the history of the game. What about the Platinum Trophy? Well, on paper it is pretty easy, assuming you do follow a guide, unlike me. I think I probably played this game about 5 or 6 times from start to finish, including my original playthrough from 11 years ago. Just to set the scene as well, 11 years ago I purely just played the game through once, I think, to complete it, and that was it. You know, as a kid I played it and I was like, oh cool, finish the Daryl game, on to the next. I didn't really have any interest about collecting trophies or replaying it because I did get kind of scared at some points.
Boo!
Really got me.
So the reason why I ended up playing the game as much as I did is because I didn't follow a collectible guide because I was chopping it up on stream with chat. I don't really like following and doing collectible trophies on stream because I feel like it really disengages me from the community that we've got. So I played it through somewhat blind, and I didn't realise that some of the collectibles are on specific pathway routings. So there's more or less 2 pathways that you can take in the game, a left side and a right side, and on the respective side there will be different things that you can achieve, whether it's survivors, which kind of also are a collectible, and then like actual collectibles. I think there's squirrels and also posters that you can collect. So I actually had to go back through the game and play through again. I was actually keeping a note on stream because when you pause the game it does actually tell you how many collectibles you have for that area. So I was actually making a note of the collectibles. If I found them naturally, fantastic, I'd tick it off. If not, I'd just make a note so I knew where to revisit. The only problem is though, I kind of split my paths up in a way, so I was going all over the place, so the collectibles kind of weren't in a straight line. So again, because the game splits in two paths, sometimes you go down one route and then I switch to another route, meaning that I would lock myself out of a different collectible, which was kind of frustrating, hence why I had to sort of play it through a couple of times. Of course, like most games as well, there's story related trophies, which, you know, I completed the game 11 years ago, so I achieved them back in the day. And then of course there's some miscellaneous trophies as well, which for the most part are fairly easy. There's some funny ones in there, like shooting a crossbow bolt in the knee of a walker, again sort of playing on the Skyrim, took an arrow to the knee thing, pretty cool. The miscellaneous trophies are somewhat fun. You know, there's another one for, I think, putting 10 crossbow bolts into a walker, and it's called Porcupine. So it's a, you know, it's a fun trophy list, and it's, you know, pretty achievable to get the miscellaneous stuff as well, which isn't, you know, the worst thing. So after replaying the game sort of normally, there's also these survivor related trophies as well. So if you finish the game with male survivors, female survivors, and then no survivors at all. So I actually targeted one of these on my sort of, you know, my first playthrough on the stream just to get that trophy out. So you need to play the game a minimum of 3 times actually as well. So you could probably get the platinum in 3 playthroughs, assuming you know, follow the optimal routes and are quite lucky. But the reason why we're gathered here today is because of one trophy called Every Man, Every Woman and Child. I don't even know why they added child, because there aren't any child survivors you can save, and I literally don't think I've ever seen a kid in this game either, which is a really weird name for a trophy. But anyway, I digress. This trophy requires you to travel with each optional survivor at least once. I do have to commend the game as it does track all of your stats across multiple playthroughs, so that includes the collectibles as well, which is really cool. There are specific choices that you can make to get certain survivors, and that will take you along the story path. So there's 16 optional survivors in total. 11 of these are guaranteed to be found along the story, assuming you complete the right steps for those survivors. Very easy with a guide. If you're playing blind, you could actually miss a couple like I did, so I just went back and collected them. This means that there are 5 survivors unaccounted for. How do you find these survivors, you might be thinking? RNG is the answer. If you don't know what that means, it means that my life became a living hell for one trophy.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
In all seriousness though, it stands for random generated number, meaning that the survivors are actually randomly generated of when they spawn in the game. Obviously they're designated to an area, but it will be random whether they're in that area. So finding 4 of the survivors is actually pretty easy, because you can kind of get the RNG to benefit you in a way by taking specific routes and sort of looking in certain areas, and you can always reload the checkpoint if you don't find the survivors. But the spawn rates of, you know, the 4 optional ones in a way, you know, the ones that are off the beaten path, are fairly easy to get. I say easy loosely. They're a lot easier than one survivor. And there was this one survivor called Gloria Garcia, who is now my mortal enemy for life. Just for some context as well, I stupidly wasn't tracking what survivors I had already found, so this includes my playthrough from 11 years ago. I did use my amazing memory to narrow down the options of what I had and hadn't missed in the game, and this game doesn't actively show you who you've collected as a survivor, so it's purely just a guessing game. I came to the assumption after sort of my many playthroughs in this sort of recent platinum grind, I guess, that Gloria was the missing piece to the puzzle that I hadn't found yet, because I was expecting a trophy to pop when I collected one of the previous survivors, and I was like, right, it definitely has to be Gloria that I haven't found yet. So Gloria can be found randomly between Barksdale and Sherwood in an area called Freight. Guides recommend choosing the highway route to increase your chances, but in all honesty, I don't really know how accurate that is. These areas are towards the end of the game as well, so if you pass Sherwood, there is no going back, thus meaning if you don't find Gloria, you'll need to reload your checkpoint. I was kind of stressed stressed out with this because I didn't want to do another playthrough of the game, and I was kind of in the last quarter before you go to Sherwood and start sort of like the end phase of the game. So I was kind of in a constant state of squeaky bum time of whether I was going to find her or move into the next section. So I had to be really quick with, if I didn't find her, I needed to reload a checkpoint ASAP. I literally had a 2.5-hour glorious search party stream in the hopes of finding her, and then this happened.
I don't think this is the right area, but so let's hope.
I need help.
No way. She said no. Oh my god. She's there. The joke did it. The joke from chat did it.
A few moments later.
How can that happen? I can't but no. No, we've not just ruined it. No, 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 no. We've not. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. She can't die? How did they get in here? There was literally no walkers. What?
In all honesty, I thought that I was done for. All of that time down the drain. I honestly was quite close to ejecting my disc.
Is that even my fault? Like generally, because there were no walkers behind me. There was nothing behind me. And somehow they've crawled underneath and got her, bearing in mind that they don't do that normally. Let's hope that she's here on the reload. Let's hope that she's here. Please be here. Please be here.
Please, please.
Please, please, please. Please be here.
I need help.
Sublime!
Like, nothing here. Nothing here. And then I literally went here. And somehow she died. Please tell me on what universe we've just done the same thing.
That was... They were so close. You kind of saved me. I definitely owed you.
Yeah, you owe me. You owe me about 2 hours and Oh my god. Oh. No, yes, finally. Oh my word. We got it. We got it. Probably the hardest trophy in the game. We got it. We just need one more. Yes.
In my many hours on this game, I've never ever been in a situation where zombies have crawled under a door. Like, they just stand at the door and they can't bend down, so I have no idea how they magically turned into crawlers and killed Gloria. Imagine the reason why I didn't get this trophy was down to a glitch like that where she dies and it sort of boots me out and I have to search for her again. Honestly, could have been a lot worse. Grateful that it actually saved your progress. I do think I definitely got the short end of the stick when it came to the RNG with this trophy. It honestly took me so long to get. Like, I was going crazy on stream. I thought that the game was glitched. I thought that I generally was getting close to the point. I think if I hit the 3-hour mark, I was gonna restart the game again to hope that it triggered her spawn, because it's kind of unknown. Like, the guides can tell you how to find her and there's YouTube videos, but it is generally just random. Like, you can't really predict it. So I was very close to actually restarting another game. This is arguably the hardest trophy in the game. Of course, it's RNG, meaning that you could get it, you know, quite quickly, or like me, it could take you absolutely hours. If you are attempting this trophy, or if you have done this trophy, hopefully it happened for you a lot quicker, or does happen. With this hardest trophy out of the way, I just did a final cleanup of some miscellaneous trophies, and then the shiny platinum was finally mine.
I can handle this myself. Thank you very much. And the platinum trophy for the Walking Dead Survival Instinct has been popped. We can eject that. There's no better feeling than when you finish with a game than ejecting it and saying, see you later. Like, We're done. We don't have to touch it ever again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're done. No better feeling. No better feeling when you finish the game, deleting it or rejecting it. Thank goodness. Thank you very much.
And it feels really good after 11 years to go back to a franchise that I love, a character that I also is one of my favourite characters in the show as well, and get the platinum. It was such a sort of a nice achievement, and I'm sure that my younger self would be proud that we actually got the platinum trophy for the game. If you enjoy watching platinum videos and challenges, I'd urge you to subscribe to the channel and also check out some of my many live streams over on YouTube. If you'd like to watch me search for Gloria endlessly for 2 hours, that stream is also on the channel for you to watch. Is this the worst Walking Dead game? Let me know down in the comments below. I've been Deathroff, and I'll catch you on the next one.